Guys, so I wanted to do this video for a long time. I mean, ever since Note 7, I think. I wanted to cover what do I think in-depth review about the Note 8 or Note 7 in that matter. So let me get to this really quickly. I might have to be a little quiet because there are other people here since this phone is not released yet, so I can't have one in my hand. Long story short, okay. First things first. How big is it? Well, it is almost identical to the size of a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Like literally, it is comfortable to hold on to, and I do not agree with the people who say this is too bulky. As you can see, it's very easy to be held and work with, especially if you use the shrinking window where you can have the window smallen to the size where you can. I'm not advising this, but you can use it while you're driving. As you can see, I can reach almost everywhere across the screen. So, second thing, how this phone will be compared up against old notes like Note 3. By the way, this is limited edition gold. Anyway, moving on. Note 4. As you can see, it's not that big of a different in terms of size. You see? And as many of you may already know, almost the same size. Now, let's get to the key things that I wanted to talk about. First and foremost, the USB Type-C. What do I think of it? It's an amazing innovation where you can use it as a HDMI connector, charge the phone at the same time as you're transferring data, yada, yada, yada. But one thing I do have to give a kudos to Apple is that they made a cable where what it does actually, it's if in any case of pull, the cable charger will break, not the phone pin. So this is the only downfall I see to USB Type-C, but then again, depends on who's using it, so let's move on to the next thing. Now, what do I think about the phone? Again, the things that I notice people pointing out is the Bixby button, or then the battery. To me, first of all, the Bixby is just another option. Just like how the pen is another option, Bixby is too. I've seen the useful things that you do with it, and truth be told, it's not that bad. I mean, sure, it's annoying sometimes when you want to press the down button and then you accidentally press the Bixby button and it shows up, and then, imagine if you're in the middle of the night and then suddenly you press it and then she begins to talk hi, so loudly. I get that. I mean, I'm surprised she's not talking now, but with that being said, what I see, more options, and more option is good. Let's move on. Now, what do I think about the multi-window? You know, the thing that they're trying to highly advertise in this phone. Do I think it's a big deal? Yes and no. Yes, because there are certain options such as that dual window that you can have it customized will pop up, but then again, there's a point that you can turn your S8 into the same. You can turn your S8 into the same multi-window compatibility too. I mean, not exactly as fast as you can do it on a Note 8, but almost identical. So let me show you something really quick here in order for you to be able to do that. So what I need you to do is go all the way down, turn on the developer option, and once you do, go all the way to the bottom, and then turn on force activity to be resizable. What that means is it'll allow you to resize almost any window that is not allowed to be resized. I'll get into some apps later in the future that you can resize that they shouldn't be, but with that, you can almost do anything. Just like how you would be able to do with the Note 8. Even better, because, cheaper phone, more expensive phone. Now, same kind of power here, as in like you know what I'm talking. Now, next thing I want to point out, the pen being water resistant. That is a very good thing, because for those who already had this like phone like this, similar or close to it, one thing that we all suffered was the fact that if your finger to be wet, if you smudge it, the first thing is going to happen, the point of first in contact will be circled, as in like you're still pressing on that, so you can't use it unless you clean the screen. So to me, this is a good thing. What you can do is, I mean, let me show you one of the powers of what you can do with the phone. Right here, you're looking at a bunch of icons. Let's say you want to tell one of your friends about, let's say, supposedly the name of this app that you don't know about. I mean, you can't remember, so you want to just quickly copy and paste that name. So what you do is you hold this, I'm going to call it right-click button. You're going to hold this button and then get close to it, and as you can see, the pointer will turn into a text editor. Look, so you can grab any note, and then there you go. You can translate, you can do whatever. This is a big thing, because I mean, it will give you more options, and more options, better. So how about we hold it and double tap on the screen? See, quick note. How cool is that? I don't have a problem with it. I'm sure you guys have already seen all of this. I mean, this is one of the cutest things. Let's see. I mean, nice. Why not? Alright, let me clear up. Anyway, moving on. So, moving on. That probably gonna be my thumbnail. Now, let's get to the next thing. Battery, guys. I don't want to get into this dilemma of the battery being short. Let's really face it. All these phones that we have. In fact, I'm talking to you guys through the Note 3 that you might have probably seen me working on the GPS on the prior videos. This is the same Note 3 that survived, and I guess the quality of the camera is really good. This would be better. Now, but one thing that they all have in common is the battery needed to be recharged. Fast technology in terms of charging it, thumbs up. Should you not buy it because of the shrinkage of the battery? Totally not, because in the end of the day, you're not going to care about, like, you know, having a bigger battery. The most important thing that you're going to be thinking about is the functionality of the phone. Face it, you're going to charge it no matter what. What do I suggest people to do is having a wireless charger in their car specifically, because by far every time I charge any phone through cable, direct cable to a car charger, the battery went bad. Now, I haven't researched this part, but I think doing a wireless charging may be less harmful, especially if you customize the battery to not be charged in a fast charging mode. So you see here in the battery, where is it? Battery usage. Battery usage data is not available. Well, I know it's somewhere down here. Advanced. There we go. Fast cable charging. Turn this off, and I'm predicting that this could possibly give you a higher chance of keeping this device with a good battery usage. The S8 Plus battery is actually, I tried it once. I was able to use it with the GPS navigation for almost half a day, but no problem. So I like it. I'm sure it could be shrank down a little bit, but not that big of a deal breaker. Next thing, sound and Bluetooth. Oh my god, the sound, guys. Oh, I can't stress this enough. I don't know how many of you have ever tried the Samsung Dex, but I can tell you the one thing for sure is that whenever I'm using the internal speakers of this phone to play any movie, sometimes I forget that it's coming out of the phone speaker. It's good. It has a good bass. I'm not calling it perfect, but it's good enough for just working on a desk and watching a YouTube video. But at the end of the day, I would recommend a Bluetooth speaker to be used with it. Because you don't want to break it, especially if you're tending to keep this phone for a longer period. And then moving on to the Bluetooth itself is a 5.0. It's very underappreciated. There's a gentleman on YouTube by the name of KBHD. This person has specifically spoke about how good Bluetooth 5.0 is, and I might actually leave a link to his YouTube video where he addresses how good this new chipset is. And imagine you got that in this phone. Now I'm gonna compare it with the Note 3 right here. You got with getting a Note 8. I'm gonna call it Note 7 at some point, because to me just almost the same. Now, what do I think if I were to compare Note 3 with a Note 8? I know it might not be a big of a deal. Some people may not like it due to like privacy issues, but you get a tap to pay. In fact, if you look into that field, you'll be able to use it up against the older machines, which, by the way, I totally do with my S8 Plus, and that is a very good thing. Like, I'm kind of happy that I don't have to carry a wallet. Maybe it'll sound like a nerd kind of thing, but it's a big thing to me. So, comparing it next to an older phone, you get the tap to pay. You get much more responsive pen, but then again, reality check, we do not use the pen as much as we should. So, in terms of how good this phone, in terms of should you upgrade, if you're on an older model of Notes, yes. Though this phone, you can change the battery anytime you want, but then you'll lose. You don't have water resistant goodness. This one, however, you do. Yeah, you have to sacrifice the battery, yada yada yada. But then again, you can put memory extension into this one, just like how you can do that. But then you cannot go more than I think 128 on this. But then you can go up to 256 or maybe even higher memory extension. The USB here is like the older model, but then again, think about it. How many other things you can now use just because of USB Type-C? You could almost use Apple charger or some Google laptop chargers to charge this phone, along with some new monitors that you can just connect it directly to this phone and be able to project the screen of this device onto that. You see what I'm going with this. What else? More power. Guys, comparing to this, more power. Why am I pointing this out? Not only this Samsung has more power than that, but the reason why I'm pointing this, because when you're trying to do a simple task, it'll going to take you longer, and then the device itself is going to heat up. And once they do heat up, the battery drainage is going to go down. Well, I should do the battery, going to get drained, the phone going to get hot, and possibly lowering the lifespan of the phone just simply because you're asking too much of it. But what will happen if everything is being done zap, 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 and the phone doesn't have to think that much, and eventually you get higher usage out of the phone with the most optimum speed. Now, what's the difference between these two? More RAM. if I'm not mistaken, 6 gigabyte of RAM and 4 gigabyte. That means double the usage. Speaking of, double usage, here's the thing. If you guys ever get the chance to work with it, let's say the multi-window kind of thing, let me show you what I'm trying to point out here. Hopefully this is the button if nobody has changed it. Multi-window. I mean, location, smart view. I guess it's in the phone system. You don't have to necessarily turn it on like the other ones. So I'm gonna turn on the multi-window to show you something really quick here. You see, it's not multi-window compatible. You see, guys? Like, the option is not there. But then, like, on the other ones, it is. You know what? Let me just turn it on. Wait, guys, quickly. I'm gonna do this so you guys can see it. Just to be clear, notice how the setting... Wait, where is it? The device maintenance is not multi-window compatible. I'm gonna make it compatible by turning on the developer mode, so we can get that running. 1 second. Alright, I kind of wasn't sure which one do I have to keep tap on, but it's like the build version. So let me just go back, the developer option, force selected to be resized, go back, where is it? Look, it's still not a multi-window compatible, so I'm just gonna restart it and see what will happen after that. Guys, I done it, but something came to my attention is let's just do a speed comparison in terms of like booting up and restarting. Why not? I'm gonna press the restart on both of them and see how fast they can boot up. Alright, 1, 2, 3. I know some of you might be like saying that this phone might be having higher apps, but regardless, let's just look at it like whatever view. It's not that big of a deal anyway, but hey, why not? Oh, S8 Plus, Note 8. Almost ready. Well, I would say a big fail. But whatever. Alright, let's put this phone aside. Focus on this. Now, the multi-window. As you can see, the device maintenance has the ability now to become a multi-window, which is... I'm trying to like point out the obvious here, guys. Turning this into a multi-window. Turning this into another multi-window. As you can see, possibilities is endless, and I can do that, by the way, with an SS, just to be clear on that. Now, let me see what is the next thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, I'm sure it's the cameras, but to me it's not that big of a deal, since we all know how is that going to be. And I'm sure if you're looking at this video, you've already seen a bunch of examples on how this thing can be useful in terms of like taking pictures. But to me, what do I see? Higher speed of Wi-Fi connection, longer range of Wi-Fi connection, possibly longer range of Bluetooth connection, very higher speed in terms of using the cellular network data to be able to like download or whatever. Front-facing camera, top-notch. What else? Let me see. I mean, it's stupid to point this out, but like headphone jack. But I mean, whatever. I wouldn't mind to use a headphone that uses USB Type-C. I'm just saying, especially if this can charge the headset and vice versa. Comparing to this, guys, I mean, I can't stress this enough. The most biggest thing to me is the note taking. I mean, Yeah, man. I mean, this might not be that big of a deal to some of you, but if I were to be up against the choice where I can either choose this or that, I would definitely go with Note 8. Maybe because I used to be a Note kind of guy, but whatever the case may be, I like options. And the more options you have, the more you can do. You're not limited to certain factors. I mean, I know there were so many things that I wanted to point out, but one thing I'm sure about is like how you can have a phone call and be able to take note at the same time, which is a big deal, guys. I mean, why not? The speed of you going up to other apps versus like being able to like let me see if this. I don't think it will work, but yeah, it'll work. What happened? This was supposed to work. Well, as you know, off-screen note-taking, which is a really good thing, because again, guys, come on, why not? No. Conclusion. The end of the day, should you get it? Yes. Why? Because the options and the possibility, the options that you guys. Let me re-say that again. You should get it because you have more options. However, don't get it now for good enough reasons. As you know, the pricings, whether there's going to be a fail, which I'm kind of rooting not to, but I would totally go for one, just because the speed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the multi-window, guys. Just like humans, there is no multitasking. What do I mean by that? There are two types of screen multitasking. One is called like I'm gonna call it like active screen multitasking, and then the other one is freeze multitasking. By active, I'm totally trying to point out some of the apps that they don't require to be moving, so they will tend to be frozen and they won't move unless you tap on it, especially when the multi-screen is on. Let me show you one. What do I mean by that? Like, let's say you have a YouTube video going on, and by YouTube video, that screen is constantly moving. You're seeing a stream of activities going on in that window, and for that one thing, the multi-window will be a true multi-window. But if you were to have like a picture or a document that needs to be ran at the same time as you're working with another one, you will be disappointed. Again, what am I trying to say is if you have two windows going on, one window will be frozen and then the other one will be active. That is the one that you're using. So this goes exactly the same as for Samsung DeX, the device that when you plug in your phone, the phone turns into a mini PC, and I noticed the same thing is going on over there. I'll try to add more content into the same video, maybe not with the Note 8 in front of me, but definitely pointing out the things that are important to talk about. So let's see something. I mean, I don't want to break any rules here on YouTube, but let's say something is happening here. Guys, I hope you get what I'm trying to point out here. Alright, I'll try to resume this video if I find another interesting factor to talk about, and hopefully get in really depth with this sort of a before you buy you should know kind of video. Alright.